Donald Trump's trade war is also just making the people of other countries really dislike us. The tension over Trump's trade war is playing out not just in government offices and in offices of industry, it's playing out in public life. Over the weekend, at an Ottawa Senators NHL hockey game, fans booed the American National Anthem as it was performed. This is not the way it used to be.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
So it seems as though the boos started early in the national anthem, died down a bit, and then grew louder near the end. We have another example of this from the Toronto Raptors game over the weekend. Take a listen.
8-year-old Kyra Daniel.
So I am not going to pretend that a hockey crowd and a basketball crowd booing are the biggest news in the world. It's not. But it is a microcosm of a deeper frustration. Canadians, many of whom share cultural and political values with the United States, they are openly showing their disapproval of the aggressive trade policies that Trump is implementing. They don't see it as a playful political stunt. They see it as an insult. They see it as a threat to their economy, and they don't like it. And this is a sign that what we saw under Trump's first term is happening again. There's a resentment. There is a hostility to the United States as represented by the Trump administration, and it's coming from places that we would normally consider friendly territory. It's familiar because we saw it during Donald Trump's first term. Remember the G7 summit where Trump clashed with Canadian and European leaders, and we said, these are our historical allies. Meanwhile, Trump is playing love letters with dictatorial authoritarians. And instead of nuanced negotiation and multilateral agreements, we get these abrupt tariffs, and Canadians are angry. These are our friends. And I know that it's really popular among Trump world and MAGA world to do this isolationist stuff. We don't need anybody else. We don't want anybody else. We can do everything ourselves perfectly, and it'll be great. The problem is that we really can't. These trade policies don't exist in a vacuum. And what Canada is doing is being watched by Europe. It's being watched by Asia. And we look increasingly like an unreliable trade partner, and it hurts our economic standing and it hurts our credibility. We've talked about this with regard to other agreements. When Trump cancels the Iran nuclear deal in his first term, he just didn't like it, and Iran hadn't violated it, we seem like we are capricious children pooping in the sandbox because someone told us it's time to go home. And when Trump gets out of the Paris Climate Agreement or out of the WHO or says we might not come to the shared defense of NATO allies, even though that's what we agreed to, we seem like unreliable children. And so that's the real concern. When fans boo the national anthem at a hockey game in Ottawa, it's representative of the bigger problem. And what happens when we need Canadian support for a security-related issue? What happens if we need Mexico's help with a migration or public health crisis? They're going to say, you guys are unreliable, you did punitive things, you did childish things, we are not incentivized to go and to help you. And that's the really terrifying thing here. So we're going to continue talking about this. We'll talk about it on the bonus show. We'll talk about it tomorrow. In a sense, I would argue that the United States, what's the theme of today's show? The United States is under attack from Trump and Musk, making us the target for so many of our historical allies. We'll talk about it more on the bonus show. Would love for you to sign up at joinmediapack.com. davidpakman.com. Pre-order my book, The Echo Machine, now just weeks away. What are we, 6 weeks away, at davidpakman.com/book. And if you would like a personalized signed copy, email info@davidpakman.com. They're going to be $50 if you're in the US. They're going to be $62 if you are international. I know. It's just what it is. They've got to be shipped multiple times, and we're requiring a whole additional team to manage this stuff. The book is 20-something bucks everywhere, okay? If you want the personalized, numbered, signed copy, email info@davidpakman.com with the subject line signed book, and we will attempt to make it a reality for you. So I will see you on the bonus show, and then I'll be right back here tomorrow.
Well, I wrote a book after a long journey and a ton of work. I am really thrilled with how it turned out, and I hope you'll read it. The book is called The Echo Machine, and in a nutshell, it looks at how American politics got so broken, who has already figured out solutions, and how we can try to fix it and stop the terror of Trump for the next 4 years. With Trump winning this election, The Echo Machine couldn't be more relevant, not only a warning about how we got here, but also about what might be coming and how to prevent the worst outcomes. We've got to stay engaged. We need a plan, and that's what the book is about. There's a belief out there that unless you have corporate media behind you, you can't have a successful political book launch, that it's not possible. I think we can prove that wrong. Order The Echo Machine today at davidpakman.com/echo on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Audible, Kindle, anywhere that books, ebooks, and audiobooks are sold. You can also call any local bookstore and say, please order me The Echo Machine by David Pakman. Wherever you get the book, you'll get the free pre-order perks, including the signed book plate. Head to davidpakman.com/free book stuff after ordering.